Ahoy, my name is Ben from Canada and we got a problem here. This room is boring. Yeah, exactly. This needs to change. It's a small room, but it feels even smaller because of the way I've laid it out. So instead what we're gonna do is we're gonna rearrange it. Before we do that, I'm gonna shave. Give me some tips. How am I gonna tackle this room rearranging?
Okay, so sometimes there's like big messes and you're like, where do I even start? The answer is put your hand up. Whatever your hand touches, you have to deal with that thing. So you just gotta do that until your entire room's clean.
Sorry, you gotta go, looks like. The first step of cleaning your house is clean yourself. It's like a metaphor.
My brother's a YouTuber, man.
I'm not a YouTuber yet.
Yeah, you are.
Aw. I'd look so weird as a white man. There's been a lot of talk going around lately on this here website. I don't know why. Apparently it's the most fascinating subject in the world and everyone wants to hear about it. People like talking about the state of affairs and the creator-viewer divide. What is that even? Of course there's a divide between YouTube and creator. This is the whole, it's the point. I just get so hyped up with energy sometimes, you know? It's like, I need to make something, I need to do something. And then I just sit and watch Game Grumps. Okay, my face is clean, good. Now my face is less distorted because I've zoomed in the camera and that's what happens when you zoom in the camera. I learned that in film school. That looks really...
Another topic?
Yeah, give me another topic. Super Smash Brothers. If anyone who knows me personally wants to know what my brother does with his time, that's all he does. This is my lizard, Pancake. Actually, he's not my lizard, he's my brother's lizard, but he lives in my room. So what I'm thinking is putting this there, and that there, and then hopefully it works. We'll see if it doesn't. This skateboard is something that I bought while in Glasgow, and I've been riding it down. Riding this skateboard down by the river is one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had. Hands down. First step, all my clothes are lying around, I'm gonna pick them up. And I'm gonna narrate to you. This might seem like an obvious step, but before you rearrange your room, you have to clean your room. I'm gonna try my hair in a weird, sort of... This looks weird, but I'm gonna try it. Recently I went to the airport to pick up my mom, and I decided to put on an album in the car while I was driving. This album was an album I hadn't listened to in a while. It's The Fray by The Fray. It's an album I used to listen to back in high school, and as I was listening to it, I realized I knew all the words, I knew how to play all of the songs, all the tiny little details I was just singing along to. And I realized it was actually one of the most formative albums for me growing up. As I realized this, I kind of just hated it for a second, because I was like, really? The Fray? How to Save a Life? I was cringing at it at the same time as really enjoying it. I've noticed that every time I try to write a song, the melody always sort of sounds like The Fray. The Fray makes music just about sadness and being sad and how sad life is.
Hey, who's you talking to?
Who do you think I'm talking to?
Hi, mom's home. Hi, Cameron.
I'm cleaning my room, sort of. What was I talking about? The Fray? Music's funny. Everybody loves something. Why do you think we have all those weird conventions happen? Oh god. I'm gonna be leaving soon. I'm leaving this country and I'll be leaving for a good while. I'm gonna be staying in the UK for 2 years, I think. Possibly more than 2 years. This isn't really my home anymore. I've kind of moved on. I'm back here and I'm here as an adult. I mean, I've found myself missing Glasgow. Even just being around my friends, it's like I've moved past it. No, that's mean. What am I saying? Excited to see all my friends that are there, you know? And all my internet pals live in the UK. Home isn't where you grew up. I've settled down there and I'm ready to settle down even more. What is this? There we go. Let me confess something to you. I'm not doing very well. I'm doing very poorly, in fact, mental health wise. Ha! What? A YouTuber has mental health issues? What? Yeah, everything's not quite right up there. Figuring that out. I started talking to somebody. That's always a good step. Here in Canada, where people take you seriously and we have good funding for our mental health programs, we can talk to people just right away. It's great. I apologize to all my UK pals who have trouble. So it's funny because when you're sitting with an issue and you get pretty good at masking the issues, but once you start getting help, much like an alcoholic, people really start to notice that you're not doing so hot. And it looks like you're doing worse even though, in theory, you're actually doing better. But all I can think about at the moment is how I continue to actively try to sabotage my own happiness. I'm very, very, very good at invalidating myself, invalidating all the things that are good about my life, and then try to convince myself that actually I'm miserable and I need to change everything. When really, there are people who would be really, really jealous of me. A middle class upbringing, I'm getting a good education, I have free healthcare, third best acting school in the world, all sorts of things people would kill for in some ways. See, it's times like this when I reflect on everything that actually is going on in my life. I'm like, really? But then that's actually me continuing to invalidate myself because now I'm invalidating my own misfortune And I make myself feel bad about that, saying, you don't really deserve to be sad. It's tricky when your problem is that you continue to try and invalidate yourself and you try to go and see somebody about your thing. You don't think of that as a real issue. You more think about it as part of your personality. So you invalidate the idea that it's not really a mental health issue, you know? I look at the kids that I teach in camp counseling and I'm like, they have no idea. They have no idea how hard it's gonna be.
I was gonna ask if I could record something quick.
Yes and yes. Get set up, I'll try to wrap this up. What I found so far is that what helps me is if I am told a truth. If someone I love just reminds me, hey look, you're an alive human being, you're studying at a really good acting school, people like you, helps me calm down a bit. It's like, hey, these are things that even I can agree with as objective truths, you know? Maybe some of this makes sense to some of you. Of course, these are all completely irrational thoughts. I know they're not actual things, but it's stuff that I think about a lot and it's starting to get me down lately. One of the things that I have to accept is that I am part of this shell. I will be trapped in this body for the rest of my life. I have to continue being who it is that I am being and will be. The only thing that I can do is rearrange the stuff that is in my head. I can't delete any of it. I can't overwrite it. I can't create a new consciousness to exist as. I am at my core myself and I can't be anyone but myself. So hopefully through whatever route I get to tackle my mental health problems, I'll figure out a way to rearrange my thought patterns and figure out new ways to go. It's just like rearranging a room! Cheerio, mon capitaine. Be kind to each other. I'll see you when I see ya. Bye!